What's up, everybody? It's that time of the day, that time of the week, that time of the month, that time of the year.
Oh, now we're adding some
We're
gear.
adding some stuff. I'm Big Papa.
I'm Jeff.
You're listening to The Good,
The Band.
The Ugly, with an emphasis
On ugly.
on ugly. Yeah. Ooh, boy. Twice in 1 week.
It's been twice in 1 week for the last 2 months.
I know, right? It's all right. We're starting to sound like some other podcasts.
Calm down.
We only do 2.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think next week we're doing 3.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, we have.
Yeah, we're going to be
I got to
off
get
for
away
2
from
weeks.
we got. I'm going to write got under Stody Curtis, or under the name that's hanging on the wall over there, and just write got with a red
Yep.
X through it.
Yeah.
We have some great things for you this week. We have Uncle Jimmy, obviously, and we have Ben Mauro,
Yes.
local guitar player,
Yep.
gone rock star.
Gone rogue. Oh,
Yeah,
Rockstar.
gone rock star. So, Uncle Jimmy, join us. Will
Yeah,
you
man.
please?
Jump
Hey,
on
man.
in here, son. Wipe off your feet.
Jump on
Please
on
wipe.
it.
Please wipe your feet before you come in.
Wipe your nose before you come in. Hello, Hime.
Oh, I was supposed to clean my nose? No,
No.
I didn't. Clean my nose.
Damn it.
Sorry.
It's not the 80s.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Only people from the 80s get that joke, right?
Yeah. Right.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a cold, I swear to God.
Right.
I know a couple of locals that blow their nose quite a bit.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Still to this day, that's sad.
it is too.
Anyways, how are you, sir?
Really good.
How's
Except
camp?
For the rain up here, I had to move myself inside so we could hear.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Actually, I like the inside
thing.
I kind of like that backdrop kind
Yeah.
of deal. It almost looks
It's
like.
It's a lovely backdrop. It's just blinds.
I'm sorry, you can't see.
Ah.
He's blinded
Yeah.
by
Blinded.
the light,
Yes.
wrapped up like a Jeff.
Hey.
Yeah.
Is it douche? There's a lot of controversy
There
over
really
those
is,
words.
actually.
I don't know. Deuce. I
Did you
think
guys
it's
do
wrapped
it?
up like a deuce. Jimmy, you're old.
Oh.
You're
Is it,
You could say that.
is it wrapped up like a deuce or wrapped up like a douche?
I say douche. What's that? Yeah.
Well, so it's deuce.
I think it's
okay.
deuce.
Yeah, it's definitely deuce.
but
And what is the smell of colitis rising up through the air?
yeah, right?
Right?
All depends.
No, I don't even want to think what you're saying by depends.
I know, right?
You know what? Whoever can send us a direct message through Facebook
Uh-oh.
or
Uh-huh.
through Spotify
Yeah,
or
or-
through my tube,
My tube.
your tube,
Your
our tube.
Our tube.
Send us a private. Tell us what you think about the smell of colitis and wrapped up like a douche.
Douche or deuce. Yeah.
And we'll probably send you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's could definitely be the wrong size,
Yeah.
but that way it'll give you something to
Grow into.
grow into. You can
Or grow out of.
grow out of. Right. So, Jimmy, who do we have coming up this week on Uncle Jimmy's
Pick of the week.
Well, you got the sponsoring for us, the Syracuse, you guys.
Yeah.
You got Dangerous Type at Bike Night. You've got
Nice.
Hard Promises on a Friday night. That's their happy hour show. Then
Oh.
you got on Saturday, you got John Seal and Friends.
Sealy?
That'd be a decent show. And then you got Symmetrical de France, which is in Sharky's Underground. And I have no idea what they play or who they are, so I just spotted them earlier.
Symmetrical de France.
Yeah.
So if they're on tour, are they Tour de France or?
Oh, yeah.
So
Good.
could be.
Good call.
What, they have the bikes?
I think they're gonna. They should have had it on Bike Night.
Yeah. See?
See, I can be clean funny without swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not you.
And
fuck
my pick of the week this week is going to be Hanover Thursdays. The band Driftwood is an American folk rock band, and they play all over the place. They have a stand-up bass player, which is great, and a great fiddle player. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also have Jim O'Malley's Rock Camp out of Utica, which he brings in he has a rock camp up there, which he brings a lot of young talent in to play with the professionals here. So he gets,
cool.
Bringing in now a couple of guys to play with him and do some music. And then starting off the whole show is Joe Driscoll, as usual. He does a little bit of his rap and stuff thing, and his
stand-up comedy.
His keyboard is not his keyboard. His little music thing there that he has, and then sometimes he plays guitar and sings, but not very much.
Yeah.
And,
nice.
And a great week of music.
Yeah.
8 groups this week. I was out at 8 groups this week. So I started out at Sophista Funk and also Legner 3000, and then Anthony Saturno joined. It was with Legner 3000, and he joined Sophista Funk on stage for a great show. And then we had let's see, Days End, See Through Faded, Tennyson Ave, which is Joe Essie's group from Frank and Essie, and then they had Satisfying Finneran, which was is a group out of Oneonta.
These are all just nonsense words to me. I have no idea who's that.
They were good.
Deep Fried Sazerac. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, the first name, the Satisfying, you can get. It's easy, but the last one is actually one of the band members' last names. So that's how that came about.
Him.
So his wife must be taking care of it.
Okay. Okay.
This lead singer has a unique voice. It's in the low tones, lower ranges, and he doesn't come out or try to get those high notes. He does a real good job making it his own song, and I think they're a very good band.
Kind of like me.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
God
suck on my chocolate salty balls.
He's perfect. He's always in a low range.
That's right.
Yes, right.
And then he had Mark Macri and the Funk Junkies, and then they had
the Fun Chunkies.
Funk Junkies.
Funk
Junkies.
Junkies.
Funk Junkies.
You need to drink some water.
Mark Macri's been around here for years.
Yep.
A lot of different groups.
Mark Macaroni.
Yeah, and then he brought on stage for a 15-and-a-half-year-old phenom jazz guitar singer locally, Maya Grimm. I'll tell you, if you haven't been out to see her, she'll be a force to reckon with in this city. She's putting a band together. She does a lot of open mic nights. She's usually there at open mic night at the Maplewood, but she does a great job. Then they had a great saxophone player, good pedals. He was playing. His name was what was his name?
Memorable, huh?
Darren Hall.
Darren Turnbull.
Hall. Yeah, he was very good. Then Sophista Funk had a great guy from Connecticut playing saxophone, and he plays through a full line of pedals, distortion, wah-wah, you name it. He had it, and he was really good. He was really good. So I enjoyed myself this week.
What'd you do this week?
Cool, man.
What'd you do this weekend that just passed? Did you go anywhere, do anything?
I went to the
Good Nature Brewery. Check out our new sign. Check out our new sign, huh?
Have any music there this weekend or no?
No,
they just had beer and food.
Right, that's all I need.
Jeff's two favorite things.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, they had one of my favorite things, beer.
You didn't eat food?
I did, but
their food's good.
Not saying it's a favorite.
I went to, and I'm gonna give a shout out there. And
oh boy,
I went down to Quantico, Virginia. I watched my nephew graduate from Marine OCS Officer Cadet
very cool
school. So he is now a first lieutenant in the Marines. So big shout out to Matthew Walker.
Hey, Matt.
If I had a hat on, it would be off to you. But got the don't rag on today.
Well, the biggest news today is Uncle Jimmy's
pregnant
live local music hit 4,000 followers.
Good for you.
Very cool, man.
Good for you.
Yeah, so,
that's awesome.
So it's been a road 4-year road, but it's okay. It's
Well,
been really good.
we hope that we hope that because of this episode, you will
End up with 5,000.
promote it more than typically, and you'll put it. You'll really make an effort to let everybody know about. Just putting it up there. Meh.
Other pages, man.
Meh.
What the heck?
He's got so much stuff on his plate.
This is
Yeah.
this is part of what you're on every week. This is
I
you.
know.
That should be you should be
It's all
excited
good, man.
enough on there.
Yeah. No.
Just saying.
There's a
Just saying.
Oh,
I think
I think he's
there's a
coming
third party wanting to knock on the door,
in. He
knock
is.
on the door.
knocking on.
Hey,
Hey,
Look at
how
the
you
hair
doing,
on this
Ben?
guy.
good. How you doing?
Good.
What's happening?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Mike.
Good to see you.
What's up?
And
Thank you.
on the screen with us is one of our segments every week. Uncle Jimmy, who does his pick
Hey,
of the
Uncle
week.
Jimmy.
How you doing?
So-
Great. How are you?
Oh, terrific.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We
Yeah,
can. In
perfect,
fact,
man.
we'll probably hear you a little better once. No offense, Jim. You leave.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
fight me.
But
No. I thought he was going to say "fuck you." So
I did too. I'm like,
that was
whoa.
cool. All right. Hey,
Well, on
hey,
that note, hey, have a good show, guys.
hey, Jim.
See you
All
then.
right.
Jimmy, thanks for everything, buddy.
This
We'll
one's for
see
you,
ya.
Jimmy. Oh,
Bye.
almost spilled them out on my shell.
Not good.
Let's see here. See if we can get rid of the hum.
There is a hum.
There is a hum. Jimmy, are you sitting on the dryer right now?
It wasn't from him.
Right now, it doesn't want to go off.
Oh no.
You know.
Hang on. I think we can kick you off.
Yeah.
Remove. Bye, Jim.
Bye.
Later, dude.
All right. Okay. Sorry for the.
So there you
trouble
go. We could
It's all good, man.
we could live with it. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what shit that happens with us all the time. So it's cool.
It's cool.
Okay.
So welcome.
Thank you, man. I'm happy to be on your guys' show.
So everybody, Ben Mauro. Ben is from Syracuse originally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right in Syracuse, or were you just outside? Where were you?
Camillus.
Okay.
Really? Like Camillus, Memphis, actually.
Okay.
That's crazy because I did not grow up far from there.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Mottville.
He was probably one of the guys
It was just-
you were one of the guys he used to beat up. Probably.
It's between Skaneateles and Skaneateles Falls.
Welcome to Flags
So-
of New York, the geography lesson.
Yeah, right.
So I got to ask you, if you grew up out there, what are you doing taking guitar lessons from DeSantis?
DeSantis music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
how did you know that?
Because my buddy Bill Hatch used to be right behind you. You'd take your lesson
Really?
from
With
Rick
Rick
Balestra.
Balestra?
Yeah. And he was right and I guess you guys would shoot the shit a little bit, and I see that you're
Oh, okay.
friends on Facebook and shit. But
Oh, how cool. Well, I mean, I knew of the DeSantis music store, and I would get my mom to drive me there to go stare at the guitars.
Right.
And then, I actually bought a, like a cheap acoustic there one time. And then, I'll never forget, I'm at the hallway right below the guitar lessons.
yep.
And this amazing guitar music is coming out of the room. I mean, it's just like, I'm like, oh my God. Like I just, my eyes were like wide. I was like, oh my God, like it's Ted Nugent up there.
Right.
And then I go up and it's like Rick Balestra. He's like, hey man, how you doing? How you doing? And I was like, it took me for a surprise. And I was like, it didn't look like what was coming, the sound that was coming out, you know?
Yeah.
And then, oh man, me and Rick got along great. I studied with him for a couple years.
Yep.
I mean, that was just like, he really got me on the right track playing guitar to, really know what I was doing.
Did you try
Go
to head
ahead.
down his path? I mean, his path is jazz and blues, and like he's a great jazz guitar player.
He is an unbelievable jazz guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go see his band play. I also took lessons from Joe Jewell,
Yep.
who is one of his buddies too. And I never really, I studied jazz music just to kind of, to try to learn it a little bit, but it was just never my style that I was interested in. I was always more into the rock, classic rock and Southern rock and stuff like that. So that's really what I loved. I think Rick actually taught me a Metallica song one time.
Nice.
And he was kinda
That's
like-
something you don't see.
I could tell it really wasn't his thing, and he was trying to kind of teach me, some scales or something, but he was cool. He taught me, Enter Sandman or something, and it was just super cool and really, got my interest in guitar.
Well, that he learned it when it was new.
When it was new.
Yeah. This is like,
really
80
sorry.
something. Yeah. And now nobody wants to learn it.
No.
Everybody has to, but nobody wants to cover it. Right.
Every cover band in Syracuse plays it.
The other thing before we get started, congratulations on getting married.
Thank you. Yeah, I just got married a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Again, my condolences to you.
No, it's new. It's new.
kidding.
It's new.
Oh, it's new? Okay.
No, it'll last like that forever.
Yeah.
No, congratulations.
Cool,
and
man.
your wife is a musician?
We got married up at the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, no
up in
kidding.
Alexandria Bay. Yep.
Very cool.
So it was great. My wife is actually a doctor. She is a neuropsychologist.
Mm-hmm.
But when we had met years ago, and then when we kind of got back together, like about 5 years ago or something like that, I started kind of teaching her drums, and she just loves it now. So she practices drums every day, and she watches her drum videos on her phone like all the time.
Yep.
She's doing percussion now. She's doing vocals now. So she really got inspired by, seeing me practice every day, and now she does, and now she's playing in the band. So it's a pretty cool situation.
That is a cool situation.
It's not a whole Yoko kind of thing, though. It's like,
It's not a Yoko thing,
No.
She just she plays a few songs on the drums. She plays percussion. She's singing.
That's awesome.
But she just loved the drums.
Yeah.
Are you a drummer? I see you got the Zildjian shirt on.
I was a drummer for 30 years, and then I didn't want to carry gear anymore, so I became a singer. And now I just carry a microphone and leave early and show up late and leave early. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the smart way to do it. No gear to lift out of the van or anything.
Yeah. Now Jeff's my guitar player, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So he hates the fact.
I pretend to be. Let's just put it that way.
Right. But yeah, so I drummed for 30 years, and I lots
awesome.
of gear and hated it, carrying that shit. Watching the rest of the band leave when I'm tearing down.
You're
going,
still tearing down shit.
Suck.
Or
it is pretty intense.
Yeah.
Or we're at the bar having a beer.
Yeah.
And you're still packing up.
Yeah. It's like, all right, let's go.
Man, this tastes good, pal.
We're drunk, and I'm like, I didn't even get one yet, you assholes.
Right.
Yeah. Been there. So, man, what a resume. I mean, you've been all over. You're playing with Britney Spears and
that was the thing. I was like, how does a kid from Memphis, New York, wind up playing with like Lionel Richie, Cher, Kelly Clarkson, Don Felder,
right?
Who good on you,
right?
And John Fogerty.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, looking back on it, I don't know how it happened either. I guess it really shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've learned that most people that play in those kind of bands and stuff, they either had, parents that did it, or they went to one of the big music schools like Berkeley or University of Florida or something.
Sure.
They had some kind of big in like that. But I really didn't. I didn't have a single connection in the music business. Nothing.
Wow.
And when I was 21, I left Syracuse and I started touring with like a little hotel band that played different hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eventually moved to New York City and lived in like North Jersey, actually, right outside New York City, and was there for 10 years.
Okay.
So I did my struggling and all that in New York for 10 years. And basically one day I got a call from somebody saying, hey, I just got a call that Lionel Richie is trying to find a guitar player to fill in for a show in New York City. Are you interested? And I was like,
no,
yes.
not at all.
Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone right now.
Yeah,
and,
right. I'm already there.
Right.
Yeah. My first band in Syracuse was called Meltdown, and we had Ricky Chisholm as our singer.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ricky.
Oh God,
he,
yeah.
He sang with Atlas, and he's a Syracuse legend. He's like a Syracuse treasure, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And he loved Lionel Richie, so we did like 4 or 5 Commodores songs. So that was like when I was 16, playing the clubs of Syracuse, like Sue Lynn's in the beginning, and a lot of those kind of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really kind of had a love for Lionel Richie's music already. And then, basically like I had to audition, pretty soon right after that, and didn't really get a chance to prepare. So I already kind of knew the music. and it was just an amazing, an amazing thing that just kind of happened. By the way, I was, I think the best way I can explain it to people how it happened is, I hustled. I played every single night of the week. Sometimes 2 bands a night. And at the time when that happened, I was actually playing in 10 different bands. I looked at my schedule. I don't know how I did it, but somehow I would juggle different things. And okay, this band asked me to play. This band already asked me to play that night. But what's that?
It's Jeff Tatora.
Yeah, you're the guitar playing Jeff Tatora. Do you know Jeff?
I don't. I'm not familiar with the name.
Now you're in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's in Vegas. Plays with the Blue Man Group.
Oh, okay.
He's the drummer for Vamp 77.
Okay.
He's a drummer for a million of them.
Yeah, there's a
whole laundry list. And Syracuse based still does stuff with the Booty Foundation. So if you remember the Booty Foundation from years ago.
Okay, yep, I've seen the ads and stuff. I never got to see them, but
just a great show,
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jeff is a friend of the show. He's been on, and he's also touring with Femmes of Rock right now. He plays with them as their drummer, and another great female show. We have to mention that they're going to be at Sharky's.
Yeah, September
21st. So we have to say that out loud.
Yeah,
we're under contract to say that September 21st. You can't do anything else. You have to be there. So, but yeah, we saw you were at Sharky's. That was really cool. You've been there a couple.
How did you guys end up there?
I live.
He literally lives like around the
I'm
corner.
like a 9 iron away.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, what the hell is that? Is somebody drowning a cat? And no, I was going by. I was like, wow, there's some cars here. What's going on? And and them being a sponsor, we try to push as much of the music as possible. So I had to stay and see it, and you guys were great. And I saw that your girlfriend was up there doing a little Sheila E. kind of.
The Sheila E. thing.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
And I got an exclusive for your show. I just booked another show at Sharky's.
Oh, nice.
So October 6th.
October 6th.
On a Friday.
Perfect.
Yep. So I just got Edgar Pagan to play bass again.
Oh,
he
wow.
was amazing. I love that dude.
Yep.
And I just talked to Greg LaPointe, Goose.
Well, because you usually have Max up. I know Max very well.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. I through Goose, I met Max.
Yep.
And have been playing with Max on and off, ever since then, like 10 years ago or something like that.
So Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but Goose plays with McFury.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know if he did this last album with him, but for years they've been together. And then Max has been a studio musician touring all over. Now he's got his own thing going with commercials and music.
Yep.
And so God bless him. Great, a great guy.
He is. I love Max. He's a genius musician kind of guy. He plays every instrument.
Yes.
He's great with the computer. Can sing. Is a great writer. And just a sweetheart of a guy. I actually lived in Nashville for a couple of years, and I was always over at his house when he was having barbecues. And it was like, so much fun.
And I see he just got engaged.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, like yesterday, I think. So
yeah.
I like I said, I love Max.
Yeah.
Max is from Pennellville, Phoenix area, and when I owned my bar out there, Max would play. He was doing the looping thing. His mother's his biggest fan ever. She came every time.
She always comes to the shows. Yes.
And love her.
She comes to all my shows now too. Yeah.
Does she really? That's awesome.
Nice.
She is so sweet. I mean, you can see where he got it from. Just an all around great guy. And we have Max booked for a couple weeks from now, and he'll be on the show.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. So
so I'm excited to reunite with Goose, and I think October 6th is going to be great. And that Sharky's venue, it's such a great venue.
Oh gosh,
I mean, I was amazed at the sound system, and the sound guy was great. The monitor guy was great. I mean, it was like a pro situation.
Yeah.
I was very impressed and very happy. The owner there, Jim, great guy, like a music lover guy. So
Big time, yeah.
I'm really happy that we got to book another show there. So
Paulie and Seth and
Paulie on the sound. Yep, Paulie and
Seth's on back as on monitors, and sometimes Brian's out there. I mean, just
doing the lights.
Great people. Great people. So we're excited to have you back. We'll have to have a beer together that night.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Let's do that.
After you go to Columbus.
Yeah, I like to stop by Columbus Bakery.
Dude, I mean, Facebook tells all. I mean, it's a very, as Ross Friedman Ross the Boss Friedman said from Man of War and the Dictators, crack book.
Yeah.
He calls it crack book because you just can't get away from it, you know.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. As much as you try, yeah.
Right.
But we really do that. Whenever me and my wife come back to Syracuse, my dad picks us up at the airport and we go straight to Columbus Bakery.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
A lot of people.
It's a ritual now, so we love it.
When I went out to Vegas, my uncle out there used to say, bring me some bread. So I would bring Italian bread from Columbus to him in Vegas, and then when he wanted to use it, he would actually dunk the loaf of bread in water, put it back in the bag, or keep it in the bag, dunk it in water, and then put it in the oven in the Columbus bag. Nice. And I don't know,
right
it
in
worked.
the bag.
Yeah, dunk the whole bag in the water and put it in the oven, and it like kept it moist or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So-
We used to do the tin foil and a little bit of water, and there's a whole little, whole little thing you got to do to freeze it and then use it again.
That's right. So there you go. We got
we got a bunch in the fridge right now. So
I was just say, came home
my
with
dad
some?
ships it.
Oh, does
my
he?
dad ships it to us. Yes.
That's awesome.
Every 2 months he ships us, a whole shipment.
So does he still lives here in Camillus?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
See, and we do have quite a few people listen that are from Syracuse. That's a majority of our. So I think they'd appreciate, and we all know, being from this area, there's certain staples that Columbus bread. You got Hoffman's, Hyde's hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got salt potatoes that people like. What the hell is that? Salt potatoes.
Right.
Yeah, my wife went crazy for the salt potatoes. She'd never had that before.
Right.
So
Oh, wow.
And if you think about
we
it,
bring
it's like-
those home sometimes too now.
There you go.
and then Grandma Brown's baked beans is a regional thing. You
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
So, we got a lot of stuff going on here that people don't realize that when I go places, I bring it, like dinosaur barbecue sauce. I try to bring stuff like that.
Yep.
So it's cool that
Yep.
even in Vegas, you're bringing the stuff back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
you can't really get good bread out there. That's
You
my
can't.
opinion.
We look everywhere now, and we actually been going to the Italian American Club. There's a great Italian American club here, and we've been going there. They have music. Oh, it's
They had a
blast
comedy
over there.
show there. The Uncle Louie Variety Show was there a couple months ago.
Oh,
And those are guys from Syracuse, and they've been on the show,
Oh.
and they're fantastic. So you're hitting all the buttons here.
Yeah, you are.
yeah.
You got the press kit we sent you, apparently.
Yeah, right. These are the talking points. Don't go off them.
So we jump around on this, but being out there, you've had so many opportunities to pick up another gig. Are you focusing a lot on that, playing these resident shows more than your own music, or you trying to mix? One pays the bills, the other one lives the dream.
Well, for the last over 20 years, I was Lionel Richie's guitar player.
Right. Which
So
is
that
huge.
was my
great.
was my full-time job. I mean, it was really amazing, and it really, I was playing the clubs of New York City. The clubs, the Irish bars. I was doing little showcases for up-and-coming artists. I worked at the Cafe Wah in Manhattan, 7 nights a week for 3 years.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I got that opportunity to play with Lionel, and it was just like, bam. I mean, I really, it wasn't even like I was really trying to do that. I was just trying to make a living playing guitar and singing.
Right.
That was my dream, was to be a full-time musician and make my living doing that. And I loved it. I mean, I loved it. I was definitely struggling, but I loved it. I mean, I loved every minute of it, loading my amp in everywhere and, driving my truck into Manhattan every night and playing these clubs and then driving it back and, loading it up the stairs to my apartment and, just I mean, I used to play 40 nights in a row and then have one night off and then another 40. So, but I loved it. But then all of a sudden I got this opportunity and it was just it was like my parents would come down and visit me sometimes, and they would come see some of the bands that were playing in. And they were pretty good, cover bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they came to see me at an Irish bar, on Bleecker Street. And, it was like a cover band. And, I think our singer had a yellow mohawk, and we were playing Rage Against the Machine songs. And, my parents were kind of like, oh, okay, this isn't our thing, really. And then I got that opportunity. And then it was 6 months later, basically my whole family got to come down. I was playing Madison Square Garden with Lionel Richie opening up for Tina Turner on her farewell tour. And it was just, it's just like an amazing it just, I get, it just put me into this other circle of musicians and all this kind of stuff. And it was really a dream come true. All of a sudden I was on the tour bus with these, great musicians that, were very famous in the music world. I really didn't know who they were at first.
Right.
But, I was right in there, and it was really full time for like 22 years. And then the last, maybe like, 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing the Cher gig and the Lionel gig, basically full time, just shooting all over the place, Europe, all over the place. And then I just kind of realized, was like, at some point, if I want to do my own thing, I'm going to have to just do it.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to, it's great to have a job like working for Lionel, but you're really, following him around. You're really, and he's very hard to keep up with. It's amazing what that guy does. It's amazing how busy he is and how much you travel. And, it's kind of crazy. I would really literally get like emails saying, we're going to India next week. We're leaving on Friday to India. Make sure you got your shots or whatever.
Right.
Sure.
Like,
right. We'll be gone for 10 days. It's just like, so you really, it's very, you're kind of on call all the time.
Right.
So it was very hard for me to ever book a show for myself and because I have released some albums and I have wrote music and I was trying to be a solo artist, but I never really had time to promote it.
Right.
So I just kind of realized that, if I want to support, promote myself, I'm just going to have to do it. So I ended up quitting the Lionel band, and now I'm focusing on my own band and trying to rebrand myself as a singer. Also, I'd been, doing voice lessons and working on my voice for years, but really it was just guitar that anybody ever knew me for.
Right.
And it's been exciting. It's definitely a building. I'm in the building process now of building it up, but starting to get corporate shows here in Vegas, private shows. Sometimes we play like the little clubs here, some of the rock clubs. We actually have a show at a place called the Sand Dollar this Friday.
Yeah, I think
10 to 2.
Jeff just played there last week, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, or Stoney Curtis played there, I think.
Stoney, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm Stoney. I know Stoney now too. I just met him at a party a few
was
weeks ago.
He was on the show a couple weeks ago.
Another.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was on like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or 3. No, he was more than that.
Like
3 weeks ago.
Like 3 weeks ago or so, Stoney was on.
Yeah, Stoney's good people. I mean, he is like the Vegas version of Max McGee.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the Stoney Curtis band,
right?
And
yes, I know that. But is he from Syracuse or
no? We don't.
Okay.
Jeff. Well, again, he plays with
Count 77.
Count 77. And
okay.
That's how Jeff Totora drums for Count 77. So,
okay.
So we got introduced to Stoney that way, but it's not all Syracuse bands or Syracuse. It's
okay. I see.
Any kind of affiliation.
Sure.
5 Degrees. With Totora, the beautiful thing is, if you're playing 5 Degrees of Totora, you're going to end up being with anybody because he plays in so many, and he's played.
He does.
Yeah, I got to meet him. I got to get his number.
Yeah, if you go and see Stoney play ever, I mean, well, he doesn't drum with Stoney.
No.
But he's always hanging out. He's at Vamp.
If Count 77's playing at Vamped,
go see him.
Go see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're that kind of bluesy. They like to do that blues kind of.
That bluesy rock.
Yeah.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd-ish style.
So
I like that stuff. So
so do I.
So playing with Lionel Richie, playing with Cher, same. 20 years doing it. How much interaction? Now I know people that I've been friends with. A friend of mine toured with Jackson Browne for about 10 years as his bass player, and I said, "Oh, well, you guys must be." He's like, "I saw him like twice." A week. I mean, he'd come in, he'd do his thing, he'd leave. He didn't interact with us because we were just the band, and
Yeah, are these guys like hands-on with you?
Well, no.
Okay.
I mean, what I try to tell people, because it's funny, it's like, I think because it's music, and you usually think, oh, you're playing music with somebody, you're like buddies, and you're having beers after, and you're hanging out. But really, it's a big corporation. You know?
Okay.
And if you work for Coca-Cola or something, you're not hanging out with the CEO. You're not hanging out with the president of the company. You might see him every once in a while, but you're not having any interaction with him unless maybe you're in the room with him for a little while or something.
Right.
And these music gigs are kind of the same thing.
Right.
Now, Lionel is kind of an exception because he's very personable. I mean, he's the guy that comes in and gives the crew guys a hug. He stops, he hugs all the guys in the band. He takes time to come and see everybody and kind of talk to everybody a little bit. But really, you're not really interacting with him. You're definitely in a separate. You travel different from him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't come to sound check, so you don't see him before the show. You basically see him when he steps on the stage. That's when you see him for the first time. If you're on tour and you're working, that's the first time you see him. Maybe you might see him in the hallway or something. And again, he's very personable. I know some artists, they don't really speak to you at all.
Right. But he at least knew who you were.
Yes.
Who's that guy on the guitar?
I mean, I played for him for 20 years.
Right.
So yeah, eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
I'm going to have to learn your name.
Yeah. What's your name, kid?
Bob, right? Bob
That's
Bob Mauro. Yeah, that's it. Yes, Mr.
I had
Richie.
really short hair when I started, and he called me the Cub Scout for like 3 years or something. I was like,
that's great.
So for you watch his daughter grow up, basically. I mean, I'm sure she was hanging out.
Kind of, but again, like his, they don't really hang out with us,
right?
So it's not like you really get to see them, And then after the show, I mean, we would see Lionel walk into his car,
right?
As he would leave, and we would do like the last couple bars of the song, and he'd be walking to his car and be, hey, what's up? Great show. Oh, great show, guys. And so he was very personal, and sometimes he would actually just come in our dressing room.
Yeah.
He would just like unannounced show up in the dressing room and just crack us up because he's like super funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's like wherever he is, it's like there's like a bubble of happiness around him. It's like anything is possible. He's very happy, and if you're around him, he's got stories. He knows everybody. He knows every single performer ever. He's got stories about everybody, and just a very fun guy that likes to tease the band. It was funny because the guys in the band will tease him back and stuff. So he's very, personable like that. But even him, it's not really like you actually have a lot of interaction.
Right.
A bubble of happiness, Mike. That's like being around you.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck yourself.
And another one that's kind of like that is Cher.
Nice.
Cher was.
Oh, really?
Maybe you wouldn't expect it or whatever, but she really is a nice person.
That's what I was waiting for you. I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to go. That's the one person we've never seen.
Yeah, no.
Honestly.
I mean, she, during the day you don't really see her. I think once or twice she kind of went to sound check or something just to see what was going on or something. And like one day she had a new song that she had recorded, and like she came in to sound check and was like, hey everybody, I want you to hear this new song, and put it in the PA. So I mean, she really would be cool. And like the dancers, especially her and the dancers, like real close. They would talk a lot.
Right.
The funny thing is, like, she would come in, and the stage is like maybe about a 2-foot stage for the band, and the dancers are on the floor. So she would come in, and the dancers would be right there, and she'd hug the dancers and everything, and then the band, she would just kind of hey, but like I'm a hugger, and when she came in, and because when I first got to meet her, the musical director was like, hey, come here, Cher, you got a new guitar player, and this is Ben, he's filling in, for Joel. And she was like, hey, hey. So I got to kind of meet her quick. And then but then when I saw her like hugging the dancers and stuff, like I just was like, what
My
other
turn.
chance am I ever going to have? Yeah, so
I'm going in.
Right. I put my guitar down, I jumped off the stage, and I was like, hey, Cher. And at first she didn't really know what to do. And then she gave me a hug, and I was like, and then the bass player, Ashley, was like, oh my God. So she put her bass down and jumped off the stage, and she came in and gave her a hug. And, so it was like, and she really is personable, but, again, they aren't used to kind of being around a lot of people and interacting. But
you
if you
see what you started?
I know.
Somebody got their ass kicked that day. Don't ever let them do that again.
I know. Don't let the band talk to me again. No. And, she would do stuff like on days off, for the holiday, she actually would have bingo. Like she'd do a bingo thing. I mean, she put up like 10 grand of her own money for the band and dancers to play bingo. And I actually won. I won $800. And I went up there and I got another hug from her.
And a 1099.
Right.
Yeah. And we did a thing at like Top Golf. where she had like a Christmas party. We were on tour, and it was kind of that time of the year, and she did a party there, and I got another. So I've hugged Cher 3 times.
Nice.
Hey, you better watch it. I mean, I know you're newly married, but she continuously gets the younger ones. You know, I mean. She's just hugging, she's like squeezing a loaf of bread. It's like, hey, yeah, this one's good.
No, you're no Greg Allman, pal.
Yeah. So again, I think a lot of times the artists don't really interact with the band.
Right.
I mean, they really don't. But I think Cher, Lionel, they're really exceptions. And the other one that I can say is Don Felder.
I was just going to say,
I love me some Don Felder.
Eagles
he is
has
such
be
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I was in Los Angeles. I had went to like one of the rehearsal studios in Los Angeles. I was kind of walking around saying hi to people, met this keyboard player, and then like, I don't know, 3 months later, a friend of his was working for Don Felder, and Don needed a sub and gave him my number, and then I got a call from Don Felder one day, like out of the blue. Hey, Ben, this is Don Felder. And I was like,
which one of my friends is this?
Am I getting punked?
Yeah, I mean, I had to pull my truck over, and I was like, I had Don Felder's poster on my bedroom wall when I was a kid.
Right.
The Eagles live with the whole band. I mean,
Yeah.
that was so, and it was just crazy. He was like, hey, you want to come to my house? I want to, go through some songs. And I'm like, yes.
What's your address? Comes up to the middle of the desert.
I got to drive up to the Hollywood Hills, and that was when I was living in California. So
okay,
but went to his house, and kind of he was showing me the parts to Hotel California, and at one point he said to me, yeah, well, there's this one song, it's called Life in the Fast Lane. It's kind of got this weird backwards guitar lick, and I was like this, and I played it for him, and he was like, oh, you know that song? And I was like, the second song I ever learned.
Right.
I had a guy named Don Bullis in Syracuse when I really started playing guitar. My dad actually found a beat up guitar in our neighbor's trash and brought it home one day.
Right.
And when I was 14, and that's kind of how I got interested in it. And Life in the Fast Lane is what I wanted to learn. I couldn't really play it, but this guy taught it to me. And even now, like Don, he's got his own dressing room, and usually that's where the artist is. You're never gonna be in there.
Right.
But Don always comes to the band room and sits in the band room and talks with everybody, and tells stories about the old days, talks about what's going on, and I can ask them little questions and stuff, and it's surreal for all of us.
Our question today.
Oh yeah, I know.
We want to know what the smell of colitis is. That's what we want to know. So could you find that out?
I mean, I really don't know. I don't
tell
know.
Don we'll send him a T-shirt.
Yeah, that one.
The good and the what?
Who is this?
Who the hell are they? No, they're huge and they're huge in Liverpool.
And that's England, by the way.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, so Don, I mean, he'll when he's got a gig and he needs a guitar player, he'll call me himself. Like he'll say,
That's
he'll
awesome.
call me, hey Ben, I got a show coming up in Florida. You think you can make? And I'm just, it's like, wow, like nobody does that. Nobody does it. So there are exceptions. I think it's really like the pop star, the real pop stars. When you work for them, I mean, they'll just walk right by you. They won't even acknowledge you. Which is a little weird. You're like, wait a minute, I'm playing your band, and you don't know my name. You never even met me once. I mean, it's weird.
Dance monkey.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So.
Off with his head. Send in the next jester.
So what you're saying is, you've never met Kelly Clarkson.
Well, Kelly, I could tell you a quick story about her. I did the first American Idol tour.
Oh,
so I had just moved to Los Angeles, and I was watching American Idol. I thought it was a cool show. I was watching it, and I thought Kelly was great. And then I got a call out of the blue from Randy Jackson one day. He's like, "Hey Ben, this is Randy Jackson."
What the hell is your phone number on a bathroom wall of the stars?
And he said, look, we have this tour coming up, and we have a guitar player, but he's having trouble learning the songs fast enough, and there's a ton of songs. And Randy had talked to the musical director for Lionel Richie, a guy named Chucky Booker, who is a legend in the music business, and was like, hey, do you know any, like a blonde guitar player that could learn songs fast? And Chucky was like, I got the guy for you. And so I got to go in, and I was hired on the spot, and then I did the tour, and that was the tour where Kelly won.
Right.
So it was like a six-week tour. And at that point, Kelly was just one of the other kids, really. She wasn't a big star yet. It just happened to her.
Right.
And she was just this like down home Texas girl, like she would always say, "Oh, hey, what's up? Cool beans, yeah, cool beans, man." Like, she was just super chill, just really friendly.
Yeah.
And then I did that tour. I did a couple TV shows with her, which was amazing. I did like the Ellen show with her, and
oh wow,
a couple other ones with her, and it was just super fun because she was really talented and really friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, stopped doing that. Was back to work with Lionel or whatever it was, and it was like 2 years later. I got a call to fill in for her guitar player at the Ellen show again. And I was in the green room, and she came in for a second, and she was like, "Ben, how you doing?" And gave me a hug and stood there and talked to me and I was like, wow. I was like, she's still the same cool girl, after having all this fame and,
sure.
All this stuff. She was still the same super friendly girl that she was, when I first met her.
Yeah.
So she's another one. She's another one that was really, not a typical pop star.
That's so cool.
But you know what? I suddenly hate him. He gets a phone, like you said, and I don't think he heard you.
Well, yeah, his name is on the is written on a bathroom wall for a good guitar call.
Yeah.
Or it's our names were never. Well, it's probably written for something different, but you at the truck stop or something. But
yes. So,
hey, $20 is $20, brother.
Don't hate.
So it's funny because we ask most of our guests, what is that fanboy moment that you've had in life, or when you're like, oh my god, but he's playing with friggin' legends.
Yeah,
it's like you've played with the.
Have you ever been starstruck though? I mean, honestly.
I mean, a lot. I mean, to tell you the truth, guys, I mean, I've been a music fan as a kid my whole life. I mean, I lived to go to concerts. I mean, I would wait out for tickets at the War Memorial to see band. I mean, that's all I loved was going to concerts. And I mean, I think that I'm grateful because I've never lost that. I do see some of the musicians I got to work with and stuff. They kind of get an attitude and, they don't want, whatever. But for me, I don't know. I've just never lost that thing of being a fan. So I get starstruck every time I get near Don Felder, or it used to be like if I could, Lionel would come and look me right in the eye when I was playing guitar solos, and that would just would always freak me out. I think the last one that I had that was just amazing to me was in Vegas. We were doing a residency with Lionel Richie, and he did some like special radio show during the day that was just me and the keyboard player and Lionel. And Dave Grohl was the host. Because Dave and Lionel are like buddies. Those guys are like really close. Remember when Grohl broke his leg?
Yes.
And kept singing?
Yep.
So Lionel sent him like a muffin basket with like 500 muffins in it. and like ever since then, those two have been really close. So Dave wanted to do this show, and at the end of the show, they were doing pictures with people, and I was standing there, and I was just like, I'm getting in line. I was like, I want to get a picture. I mean, I'm getting. Right. So I went to the very back of the line, and all the radio people that had paid whatever, and I was in the back of the line. So I have a picture with me in the middle of Dave Grohl and Lionel Richie, you know, and it's like, I mean, that to me was just like, and then Grohl kept coming to the show. He kept coming to the show, and when Dave Grohl would see me backstage, he's like, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? I was just like, wow, because Dave Grohl to me is just like the ultimate rock and roll star,
right?
He's just like the king right now.
But he's also the cool
That's
music. He's just he's a cool freaking dude, man.
He's not like the the arrogant kind of thing that you see sometimes. Like in Hollywood, you go to a club in Hollywood, you try to meet the music. You get a lot of arrogance going on.
Yeah.
But Dave Grohl, I mean, he's like super nice, super down to earth, very friendly to everybody, very gracious, very humble. So getting to meet him quick was like definitely a fanboy moment for me. So
that's cool.
So
Felder too? Felder, I mean, it freaks me out because really I was a huge Eagles fan as a kid. I mean, and to actually stand next to him and get to play, like I played a little harmony in Hotel California with him, and
he actually
crazy.
played three doors up from where my parents live. He played at this. You're from Memphis, so remember Welch Allen? Remember Welch Allen?
Oh yeah, Skinny Atlas Welch Allen.
Skinny Atlas Welch Allen, the business.
It wasn't a bar.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. Yeah.
He played there
at the lodge.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou Allen, the guy who owned Welch Allen at the time, was throwing a party for their employees.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother tells me about this, and I'm like, I got to see this. So I somehow get into this thing, and lo and behold, Don Felder.
Wow.
So that was a cool moment for me because I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
There's
I mean, the
Don
guy,
Felder.
what a guitar player.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just standing on, it's like I forget to play sometimes when I'm just watching him. I mean, it's just like, oh my God. Like, you know, it's just like, it's effortless for him, and he's like amazing every single night. So
yeah.
What's one of the
amazing.
coolest? What's one of the coolest venues outside of playing a big room, Madison Square Gardens?
Yeah.
Some. I don't think Lionel Richie didn't play the White House at that point. No, because he just,
we actually did play the White House.
Okay,
when Obama was there.
I
We
take
did a
that
private
back.
show.
So no,
we did a
can't-
private show, and
Okay.
Obama was like right in front of me. It was crazy.
So that's. I thought you played some either there or didn't he just go for the inauguration to England?
You know what he just did is he just did the thing in England.
In England for the
yeah,
king.
I didn't do that though. Yeah, I didn't do that though.
Right.
So I was I've played shows for the royal family and stuff over there, like private shows before, but I didn't get to do that one.
I can't
And
talk to
I think-
him.
I know.
I think my favorite show that I ever got to do was a thing called Glastonbury,
okay.
which is a festival in Europe.
Europe, yes.
And at the time with the Lionel Band, we were doing festivals like all over Europe for like a month. So we were staying in London. We would get on the bus at like noon. We would drive like 2 hours to like some little field somewhere and, do our sound check and then sit around and then play our show and then drive the 2 hours back to the hotel and then, probably do the same thing the next day. And we had been doing it a lot, and it was kind of rainy and muddy, and we were just kind of, we were all getting tired. And then there was this one Glastonbury one day, and we were like, okay, whatever. And so we got there, and then it was like, wow, this seems a little bit different. The Dalai Lama was walking around backstage, and the Who were playing that day. And it was just like, we were like, wow, okay, this is a little bit different. We had little tiny dressing rooms. We went out there, and it was just like the biggest stage that I've ever played. The band, that band had ever played. They said it was like between 200 and 300,000 people that day. And it was outdoors, and it was like raining at first. And then when we started, the clouds opened, the sun came out, and everybody from the other stages all came to see Lionel because they love Lionel in the UK. He's like a legend over there. Right. And that one, I mean, it was just crazy. That one, like what I really remember from that day is, I would clap my hands during like dancing on the ceiling to get people to clap. And it was like, as far as I could see were people clapping their hands and just going crazy and Lionel signs. And I mean, it was just an unbelievable experience. So for me,
that's cool.
That was probably my favorite one ever.
Well, that answered that question.
Yep. All done.
we played the Lost Horizon back when we were younger. And
I played the Lost Horizon too. Yeah. With the pole, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet there wasn't a pole in London.
My parents have video of it still. So.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Ben, do you still have your YouTube Let's Go with Ben Mauro?
I'm not doing that show anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I may do it again at some point, but that was like a cool thank you. That was like a cool little thing that I just, I got a video camera and I was like, wow, at the time, Lionel was really traveling. I mean, we were going to China and India and Japan and all these places. And the guys in Lionel's band, they're just like comedians. I mean, it's like nonstop laughter the whole day and just all kinds of funny stuff. So I was like, oh, there's all, this is like production value. Like there's all kinds. So I started doing that little show just to kind of show my parents where I was going, and what it was like.
Look, I'm really
India,
here. This isn't a green. This isn't a green screen.
So I really got into it and really, had fun doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I may kind of start something up like that again. My new thing is I'm going to do. I'm starting to do a lot of teaching, online teaching, and I'm going to start to do like some YouTube guitar lesson stuff. So, the YouTube, the Let's Go, it's still up if anybody wants to see it.
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of like you get to see a little bit of the backstage, sound check and stuff, and then also some of the traveling stuff.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you is this,
hang on, give us how to find it. What's it called?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna put it. We're gonna put a little blurb over when we do the editing tonight.
My YouTube channel is Ben Mauro Music.
Yep.
I believe. And it's just on the YouTube channel. So if you just go to my YouTube channel and then just search the Let's Go, I think there's a playlist.
Okay.
Yes,
the
there
Let's
is.
Goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll plug it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Great. Appreciate that. Thank you.
And the other thing I want to give you,
go ahead.
The other thing I want to give you kudos for is not only you're giving guitar lessons, but you also volunteer to give guitar lessons to veterans.
Yes. That is really cool. Yeah.
Exceptionally cool.
Yeah, my wife, she does like neurological testing on a lot of the military people, for PTSD and things like that.
Yep.
And she told me, hey, there's this cool thing where, vets can get free guitar lessons. And really, if you're a vet and you sign up on this thing, you get, I think it's 11 free guitar lessons.
Cool.
Online, virtual. I guess you could do them. Some places they do them in person. And then you get a free acoustic guitar, like a nice acoustic guitar with all kinds of accessories and all this stuff. So it's really a cool thing. And I've had, I think I've graduated 3 students so far. And it's been really great. It's been really great for me to get to know these guys, and to kind of give back a little bit to them. My dad was in the military. I was in the military, but my dad was. And just to kind of give back to these guys a little bit and, get to teach them, the songs they like and, try to teach them a little music theory and stuff like that. But it's been really fun. And thank you for mentioning it because it has been just a lot of fun for me to kind of give back and get to do that.
Well, God bless you for doing
Thank
that,
you.
man.
Which was a good tie-in because before you came on, I had just mentioned that I was in Quantico, Virginia this weekend, and my nephew graduated from OCS officer school for the Marines, so he's now first lieutenant in the Marines. So shout out to Matt. Again, one more shout out to Matt Walker
for sure.
So there you go.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Pretty
proud of that. He just turned 21 the same weekend.
Wow.
So he's probably, I'm sure he's face in a bucket right now, regurgitating some Jamesons and some cigar smoke or something.
Yep.
So we got that going on. But giving back to anybody is cool.
Yeah.
Can't go far enough.
Yeah, it's been a good feeling for me and kind of getting me in the vibe of doing lessons and but it's just been nice. The guys have been really great. All the students that I've had have been really cool, and some older guys, younger guys, and it's been really, really fun. So
cool.
What a cool program, right? Like if you're a vet,
exactly.
free guitar lessons.
Free guitar lessons, sign up.
Yeah, well, you know what? They've been through enough stuff.
Yeah,
they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it. Yep.
And I think people forget sometimes, not to get completely off base, but people forget the vet doesn't have to be our parents' age. We've got vets that come from, it could be as young as 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
my
kids
second
go
dude was like in his 20s and was like a kid.
Yeah.
And he'd already been to Afghanistan and all these places, and I was like, wow, I can't even imagine what he's been through. So
right.
So anybody that wears that uniform, and I say it to them when I see them, and I usually, if they're in a restaurant, I usually buy them dinner or send them drinks or something, just because. And there are people that have put their lives on the line to protect what we take for granted sometimes.
Yep.
So when people say thank you for your service, it shouldn't be just a phrase. You should realize they're willing at any given moment to not be around tomorrow for you.
And that goes for
firemen,
firefighters, which I've retired.
Yep.
Was a volunteer for 35 years. So
Wow.
Recently retired.
Police,
all the ambulance,
hardened criminals. Oh, sorry,
no, wrong ones.
No, that's
and nurses.
I don't get anything for that.
Right, nurses and doctors and stuff. I mean, you wear a uniform and you're there to save lives or protect them. One of the two. Mm-hmm. Can't say enough about them.
There goes the soft alert and kumbaya moment on the show. It's like, what the fuck? These guys were talking about guitars.
We were just roasting marshmallows.
Get Lionel Richie over here. We're singing Hands Across America, We Are the World, or one of those. Because he's a freaking legend.
Yes.
Yes,
for sure.
That's for sure.
Well, we thank you for being on here, but I want you to be able to plug your stuff because we've been talking, we've monopolized this whole show about all the cool shit that's happened. But
well, thank you. I mean, really, it's just my Instagram page, Ben Mauro, my Facebook, Ben Mauro Music, my YouTube channel. It'd be great if people check that out. And I think one of the biggest things is I appreciate you helping me promote my next show at Sharky's.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm really
October
now that
6th.
I'm not on the Lionel Richie train of being so busy. I'm starting to book shows, and one of my big goals is to book more shows in Syracuse.
That's
awesome. Me and my wife, we come back about every 2 or 3 months, and we want to start booking more shows there. So that would be great just to get the word out about that.
Well, you know what? We're looking for someone to come out with Stoney.
Yeah.
Because Stoney's coming. We're trying to bring him to Sharky's, and I think having one other act maybe that people are familiar with. I mean, your music is how do I put it's got a wide enough range of listeners that you guys could complement a little bit of each other. So.
Yeah, I mean, I basically have like a cover band out here, and it's what I did at Sharky's basically, where it's like some of my original music, which I've got a few 3 or 4 EPs out of original music people could check out.
Yep.
And then just doing kind of songs that I love from my youth, the ZZ Top, and this weekend we're doing like some AC/DC and some Journey, and just trying to do some of my favorite cover songs of all time.
Settle down.
You know where I'm going with this one.
do.
Jeff is like, here
I
he
do.
comes. He's going to ask to
Settle
fucking
down.
get up and sing with you.
Don't do it.
That would be the first time I liked the band I sang with at Sharky's. Whoa. No offense to my own, but
Well, part of my vibe is I like having people sit in. I like having different people, and I like having sing. This weekend in Vegas, we got 2 singers sitting in,
right?
And that's I love that. So please,
send me the set list.
Okay.
Give it to him now. So give it to him now, so he will learn the lyrics by then.
What are you saying? See, well, just always a dick. He's always on my left, whether it's on stage or here, and I always just don't even have to look. I can just flip him off.
What he doesn't tell you, though.
Don't go there.
I'm gonna. What he doesn't tell you is the reason I'm on his left is because
people have heard this story.
I know, but he has not. Mike has a tablet with the lyrics on it. I don't begrudge anybody for doing it. Okay?
It's on my monitor.
On the floor.
People
you don't see it. Well, when you can see it, but you're still screwing the lyrics up, I will give him
Jack Daniels had a lot to do with that.
I will give him the disgusted father look.
It is. It is hard to focus on that tablet sometimes.
It is.
That's right.
I wanted to hear from a professional.
You know what?
I can relate.
You know what? I saw Lady Gaga on stage with a teleprompter, and they were her own lyrics.
Listen,
so
they all do.
Me.
Guns N' Roses.
You're backing me up on this?
It's common. Yeah, it's common now. Almost
really
every
is.
artist has their lyrics on the on a tablet or whatever.
Artist.
But I'm not screwing them up.
I'm an artist.
I'm an artist.
I'm making it my own.
There you go.
Like my mother always wanted to change Home Sweet Home's name to Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you playing that home? My mother's like, like your parents.
Yeah.
My mother's been to every one of our shows.
Yep.
Every single, whether we were playing Disturbed or Journey. The only disturbed one there would be my old
parents. My parents would always be the first ones on the dance floor, to kind of get things going. So they're great. John and Dolores, both retired teachers. My mom taught nursing at OCC for 30 years. My dad taught Chestnut Hill Elementary for a long time. My brother's a science teacher at OCS. So I come from a family of teachers. So
Chestnut Hill, in Liverpool.
You know what? That really cancels that question. Did you come from a musical background?
Me?
No, him.
Oh, I know, right?
That cancels that out.
Yep.
Yeah, they were all teachers, so
no.
Nobody,
but you know what? He came from a supportive background.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, my parents didn't.
Clearly,
they
I've
played
heard you
music.
play guitar.
I know, it's terrible. They played music.
Tell them you're
constantly.
a vet. You can get some lessons for free, for God's sake.
I'm a veteran.
Bring up the tablet again, motherfucker. See where it goes. Sorry if your parents are listening to this. I apologize for my swearing.
That's okay.
I just riled him up.
My dad actually was the founder of Syracuse Rugby, too.
Oh, wow.
So he's okay with the swearing. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and drinking.
Rugby teams. Yeah, the first rugby team in Syracuse, my dad was the founder, and he played for, years and years, and he still is involved with the old boys teams and the SU team and everything. So
that's cool.
I got to kind of grow up. My first gigs were playing at rugby parties. Around the
all
keg,
right. There you go.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So they'll like your show.
All right, good.
Like
See?
All right, good.
So drop the F-bomb as much as you want, Jeff.
I'm good.
That's right.
They're just going to turn it off. They'll never listen to another episode, but this one's got their attention. Definitely.
All over the board.
But yeah, playing with Stoney at Syracuse, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm also working on one of my goals for the future is to do a Lionel Richie tribute too. After all these years of playing with him, I realize I've been singing all his songs, and I'm trying to kind of work on that too. So maybe I can book that in Syracuse one of these days too. So
I don't see why not.
So this is where we get into this quandary of, at that point, because you've played with him for so long, is it a cover band, or is it a?
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Is it a cover band or is it a tribute?
Or is it a tribute band?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a cover band if you've been playing with the artist for this many years. So
yeah, I think with me, it's kind of a unique situation. It's a tribute band, but I actually played in his band for 20 years.
Just
so
call it,
really, it is. It's.
I mean, you don't have.
It's.
You could call it Lonnie Richie.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's not going out there as Lionel Richie, so you don't have like 2 LA Guns and 2 Great Whites and 2 Queen Strikes and I could go on. But,
Judas Priest Ripper,
yeah,
or Judas Priest KK,
KK's Priest with Ripper Owens because he played with him before, and I'm his Eddie Trunk. He'll be fine. I know stuff he don't. That's okay.
I'm here for the good looks and the humor.
He's the eye candy, apparently.
I am the eye candy. Yeah, and I'm the one who's not afraid to say "fuck you,"
That's
Jeff.
right.
We do get comments every now and then. I like this show, but the one guy swears way too much. It's like, fucking sorry.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Hey, you can't trust people that don't swear. That's what I feel.
That's what I say.
Well, there you go.
So your parents are they're gonna give me the keys to the house if that's the case, because I'm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've proved how
Oh,
trustworthy I am.
Lock your doors, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Back in Syracuse. We can't wait to come
man.
out.
I really appreciate you guys. I know for me growing up in Syracuse, there was always such great music in Syracuse.
Oh, God,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a music, and since I've gotten to travel and leave Syracuse, and I mean, I really see Syracuse has great musicians. It always has, and it's just a great place for music. And I'm just super proud to be one of the musicians that grew up there. You know, and as much as I get to come home and play shows there, I would just, I just want to do it as much as I can, and just to continue be a part of the great legacy of all the great Syracuse musicians. So it's cool for me that you guys have this show, and you talk about these people, and you have a love for it, and you've obviously are part of it. So it's exciting for me. So thank you. I'm very grateful.
Well, make sure to listen to a couple other episodes and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I've listened to a couple of them. So I listened to the Mick Fury one. and I've listened
really
to a couple
sorry.
Of them. Yep, so.
Nice. No, Mick Fury's was good.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you had to listen to
No,
it.
don't go back before video.
No.
There's a couple.
Okay.
Well,
There's a couple that aren't bad. DRs. That was before
Daryl,
video.
DR from 3 Inch Fury. Yep, no, that was good. Yeah, we got a lot of listens on that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lee Anderson, if you remember Lee Anderson from Under the Gun.
Okay, I remember Under the Gun. I don't remember.
Okay,
Lee,
he was
I remember
the singer in
I've
Under the
definitely
Gun.
seen them before. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But there was a couple stinkers.
Yeah.
When we talked about our band,
That actually,
I know people start listening to that
people start
one.
listening to it again. I'm like,
And whenever I send guys like you the link, and I'm like, maybe I should tell them to start with
Skip.
like episode 10
and work forward.
Yeah, don't anything before that. We were still cutting our teeth.
Yeah.
On this one, yeah. So
We're still cutting something. We just don't know what it is.
cheese.
Ah.
Anyways, thank you so much for being on.
Ben, thank you, man.
We want to have
Man,
you
thank
on
you
again.
guys.
We have other
Yes.
questions.
Okay, great. I'd love
I
to
know
do it
we
again.
didn't get
So,
to. So
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
so maybe
I would love it.
right
You know
before
what?
October.
Maybe before October 6th.
Okay, I would love it. Little chance to promote the show too. So,
Absolutely,
yeah,
for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And then if
that would be great.
if between now and then, if you have something else to promote, by all means, let us know,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we'll get you on.
Beautiful.
Even if it's for a cameo or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we also tell you this: for people that are on the
yeah.
show, the login, the password, the link stays the same every
the same.
show.
Okay.
And we record Mondays and Tuesdays, and we usually say, here's who's going to be up this week. So if, for example, Max McGee is going to be interviewed, and you say, oh, Max is on Monday at this time on Monday of that date,
If you have it available,
like Jeff does. Jeff all of a sudden just pops in, and we're like,
Oh, okay.
blink, and we're like, hey, look who just joined us. And he's like, hey, I knew you guys were on. I wanted to pop on quick. I'm about to go on.
Nice.
We're doing sound check for Blue Man Group, but just wanted to say hello, and I'm out of here.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
You're
Nice.
always welcome. Never,
Thank you.
we will never
Thank
be
you.
like,
That'd be great.
what the fuck is this guy being?
I know.
Even if you have nothing to do, and you're like, hey, just
Leave
want
us
to stop
alone.
on and tell you, I got this show coming up. If
Don't
anybody's
forget
in
October
Vegas.
6th.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the invite. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to be part of the family. Yeah, thank
yes,
you.
for sure.
Yes, that's what we say that every time. You are now part of the GBU.
The GBU
family.
alumni.
Yes, and we will send you.
Nice.
I'm going to send you a thing that
we-
requests your address because we're going to
Okay.
send you out the.
Oh, no, we're not. We're going to give it to him in person.
Oh, we are going to give it to him in person when we see him. One of the
Great.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way he has
Oh,
to.
okay.
wear-
Yeah, I
he has
love the
to
name
wear
of the
it.
show. Yeah, I love the name of the show. It's very cool.
Oh, do you?
Everybody's been saying
Yeah,
that
everybody
until they
says it.
listen to it, and then they're like, "Wow, they wasted." It's like you wasted the good surprise on him.
Like that scene from Big Daddy. We
Yeah.
wasted a good surprise on you.
Yeah, that's a cool name. Too bad they suck. Somebody's got to buy that from them quickly.
Yep.
We need to trademark that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't tell Lionel yet.
Well, we hope you
Okay.
had.
Okay.
Well, we hope you had fun, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. It was great to talk to you guys. So thank
Yeah,
you
you
for
as
having
well.
me on.
Awesome. And next time, have your wife join you so she can say hello to
Okay.
us because she's in the band,
Yeah.
Yep, she's in the band. So
in the
that'd be
band.
great.
and
She
it's
would love
not
it.
a Yoko thing. So
No.
That's right. That's right.
your wife was a Yoko thing.
No.
I'm just saying.
Not even.
I just want to get you in trouble. I want
Yeah.
fighting.
Knock it off. By the way. Dear
And when she's
Lord.
listening to this right now, and you're sitting next to her, she's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill him."
No,
yeah.
that was last week.
Yeah, Snarky Productions.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much. We're gonna let you
Okay,
go.
thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We're looking forward to the next time you're on.
Okay,
you, bud.
talk to
All
you
right,
soon.
brother. See ya.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Very cool.
That was extremely cool.
Oh, you kidding me?
You know.
We got to start playing some music here.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot to talk about.
We
So
do.
Here we go.
Well, if you have something to talk about, I'm not
no,
playing the
what
music
I'm saying
yet.
is we got a lot to cover here. So
Oh.
start the music.
No, the music's not long enough for you to start doing all your shit. So start talking.
It really is.
Okay.
It really is.
You want the short one? It's only 45 seconds.
Okay.
This ought to be interesting.
It's really interesting.
I'm going to say goodbye now to all of you. You've been listening to The Good,
The band.
The Ugly. I'm Big Papa.
I'm Jeff.
We're not used to doing that with no music.
No, we're not.
Holy fuck. Might have to do it again.
That was weird.
That was weird. It's like walking
Roll
outside
tape.
with no pants on.
Done it before. Don't forget, everybody. Sharkies, Thursday, Dangerous Type, Bike Night. Friday, Hard Promises. Saturday, John Seeley and Friends. Also, do not forget, Sunday.
You're running out of time.
33rd Annual Music Fest for the Elks Lodge.
We will be there.
We will be there.
For all our sponsors, check out right after this. They're going to be scrolling up.
Still time.
That's it. We're leaving.
Okay? We're leaving.
Thanks for listening to The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Big
We'll
Papa.
see ya. I'm Jeff.
Peace.